In example 1 part A, we need to find the value of y, then find the measure of angle BAC and CAD, so we need to do all of this. If we look at this diagram, we see this larger angle here is a right angle, and if that right angle is split into two angles, they must add together to be 90 degrees. In other words, they're complementary. So if we look at y minus 30 here, we're going to add that to 2y. So these two angles added together must be equal to 90 degrees. So on the left hand side we'll combine like terms. So y and 2y is 3y. We'll add 30. 3y is equal to 120. Divide by 3 and y will be 40. So we've got the first part of this. Then we want to find the measure of each one of these angles. So the measure of angle BAC, which is the smaller one here, is 2y. So that's 2 times 40, which is 80 degrees. Now it doesn't look like that on the diagram, but you can't assume that how the angle looks is its actual measure. This happens a lot when you're making sketches on your own for maybe a project that you're working on. Sometimes your drawing isn't very accurate, but you can use your math skills to figure out what that angle is. So the measure of angle BAC here is going to be 80 degrees. Let's figure out the measure of angle CAD, and in the diagram CAD is y minus 30. So we've got y minus 30 here, and y we think is 40. So 40 minus 30 is 10 degrees. So the measure of angle CAD is going to be 10 degrees. You can double check yourself. Looking at the diagram, we know that these two angles are complementary. They must add to 90, and 80 and 10 is definitely 90 degrees. Let's take a look at the next example. In the next example, we have something that looks a little bit different, but I think it's going to be similar to the first one. So if we look at these two angles here, angle JMK, this one, and angle KML, that's this one, they form a straight line. Therefore, they're supplementary. We know that when we add this angle and this angle, the sum is 180 degrees. We need to find x and then find the measure of each one of these angles. So we're going to take the measure of the first one, add it to 3x plus 48, and we know the sum has to be equal to 180. We'll combine like terms here. 9x and 3x is 12x. Negative 12 plus 48 is 36. We'll subtract 36. And we've got 144 here on the right hand side when we do that arithmetic. We'll divide by 12, and x will be 12 for this one. So we found x. We want to find each one of those measures of the angles, so let's do JMK. JMK was 9x minus 12. So we're going to have 9 times 12 minus 12. 9 times 12 is going to be 108. We're going to take 108, subtract 12, so that's going to be 96, and that's in degrees. So the measure of angle JMK here we think is 96 degrees. Measure of angle KML would be 3x plus 48. 3 times 12 plus 48. So we've got 36 here plus 48. 36 and 48 is going to be 84 degrees. And if we verify this result by looking at 96 and 84, we can see that when we add these two together, we get 180 degrees. And that makes this diagram true.